Good evening, or good morning, maybe good afternoon. Another Lama Lab test on a Wednesday night here in the Lama Lab. Steering is on the Elite Di2 XR. As the trainer, have this SIGEYI or SUJI, or I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's SIGEYI power meter. On as the Spider, we have the Yama Duos on as the pedals, and we'll be putting them all head to head in the data set that I'm collecting tonight. So, around 45 minutes of the actual test. So I'll be here for a little while. Feel free to drop in a chat and say hello. Let me know how you're doing. And we'll get about getting this done. See if I can give some more ride-ons before we drop into erg mode. Alright, everything is as it should be. Rock and roll. Manuel, welcome along. Austria first calling in. Oh, sim mode, hello. This is a hill. And nothing much to worry about there. If you got a good deal on the Di2 X, that's all good. We're waiting on an update for the Di2 X. I was testing some, or what they call mappings, on the Di2 X. And the result of the testing that I was doing on that, it brought it up to the spec in erg mode, or very close to the XR. So we'll wait to see if they push that out as a public update or a side load or something. We'll see. We'll see. Italy, UK, Germany, welcome along. We've got it all covered. The streams that I spin up now may be a little bit offset by 1 hour. We're now in daylight savings time. So we are GMT plus 11. Typically we are GMT plus 10. Welcome along, Tim. On the Di2 XR, the AXO Spider Power Meter, AXO. I'll keep calling it the AXO Power Meter rather than the SIGEYI, SIEGYI. I believe that's how you spell it. It's in the title of something. I've been typing it for ages. This will be the 43rd data set before I do a video on the power meter. It's been one hell of a journey. So if a power meter is really, really bad and it's off, it's easy, it's just off, it just doesn't work, simple. If it works, simple. As you saw with the Powder Max, it just works. No real faults. If a power meter is really close, but sometimes is okay and sometimes not, but you're not quite sure, yeah, nightmare material. So as you probably guess, it's close. It's close. Hopefully we have our streaming issues sorted. Have a new USB powered hub. OBS has been tweaked a little bit. Frame rates are as high as what I'd expect to see them. It's set to 60. It's only doing 26 at the moment, but we'll ride on. It's all good as long as it doesn't drop out. The only thing I don't want to do is do a stream where the audio is all scratchy, or you can't hear me, or it's just a bad viewing experience. What's the price? On the AXO power meter, $329 US. So, and just after I say, I hope the streaming is all good, I can see it having a little bit of a struggle there. If the stream does go bad, as it was a couple of weeks back, I'll just call it short. And I'll get about getting this ride done. 792. Well, power's looking alright. $329 for a Spider power meter. Yeah, it's if you have a look on their website, Just AXO power meter is probably the best way to find it. $329 US for the Spider, with the specs as listed, is pretty good. Though it's going to be a struggle up against, say, $490 for a Power to Max. That was just plug in and bang, it worked. Ballarat is good. Ballarat is really good at the moment. Oliver has a question. I recently paired the rider and Angie to my Wahoo, but I wasn't a fan. Tried disconnecting the service, but I get a notification on my unit each time saying the rider isn't paired. Remove the sensor. Disconnecting the services. It may still be paired as a sensor on your Element head unit and or within the app. Not so plug and play, no. Oh, so close though. Oh, so close. The first ride I think was February 7th or 17th. I know it was February, and there was a 7 in there somewhere. Background music a bit loud, thank you. Can do. Cranking it down. There we go. Thank you for that. I don't get the feedback. I'm not listening to the tunes. I don't want to get it bounced through. Which I'll try. Done. Thanks, mate. The first ride was pretty good with the AXO. There's a few spikes. So they adjusted a few things. It was a moving target. It was a moving target. And it kept going the wrong way. I had an interesting ride. And if I get to the video, I'll pull up the data, even though it's history now. I had one firmware on a set of rollers. I think I did a 10-minute or a 5-minute interval on a set of rollers. Power was off by 10 watts or 15 watts. I changed the firmware, I reverted back. Power was accurate. Nothing else changed. Not a zero offset, nothing, just the firmware. So there has been change there. Twitch Prime sub, welcome along Twitch. How's the Elite Dorado XR when going down hills? Well, right now, yep, it just let go of the resistance. It's struggling a little bit with the cadence estimation, but once I'm smoother, it's okay. There we go. Yep, that's all right. Kicks back into the hills now. The price difference isn't that big between crank and Spider pedals. What would the reason to go with Spider crank power meter? Shimano pedals. Or speed play. Two of the main issues people go Spiders rather than a pedal option. What was the conclusion, Tobin, of the AXO review? Because my conclusion won't be nice at the moment. It's been 8 months. Still. They sent another unit over, pretty much full. I was sick of setting, was there 7, 8, 9 revisions of the firmware? So I said, can you just grab me a brand new unit, fresh, latest firmware, and we'll go with that. It's consistent with what I was originally testing anyway. Why don't I use the kicker bike? It's currently being used at the moment. I can't test a power Spider on the kicker bike. 2 reasons. On your bike, Nick. Aha, you've used my setup to get on Twitch. Fantastic. Good to hear. Yeah. Comparing the power meter to feels, or to know the power meter, you're never going to know if it's 10 watts out. You're never going to know if it's... Oh, well, now we're having drop frames again. If the stream goes bad, just let me know. I don't want to subject everybody to a poor quality stream. Yeah, 30 or 40 watts out, maybe 20 watts out. If you really know your power, you can tell. 10, not really. Donovan with the Speedplay purchase, yeah. We hope to see something soon from Wahoo. I think that was about a year ago we saw that purchase. Nothing yet though. The D0 at $399. I think there's limited options though for crank sets. And I think the standard axis power meter, which is the same tech, is back up to 609, I think. There was something with the D0 pricing that moved down then up. Whew, alrighty. Jan asks, if you go for a 170 kilometer ride, do you get the 100k badge and the 160k badge, or just one, or which one? Those aren't route badges, they're distance based. And because you can unlock multiple non-route badges, or non-route type badges, I'm guessing you'll get both. Haven't tested it. That's been a long time since those have popped up on my screen. Probably 5 years or so. But you can get things like the megawatts and the what else can you can get? Just crank that music a bit. I think it's just gone entirely. You can get megawatts. You can get the other non-route badges all in one ride. I've seen it pop up multiple times. So I think that should be right. How's the Rona down under? Victoria / Melbourne, which I'm near but not in, went horribly bad. Relatively speaking, a couple of weeks back, they locked down everyone hard. Retail shut. Make of that what you will. But it's been very effective. I think there's 2 or 3 per day now in Melbourne. So that's worked. Now it's turned into a game of politics on social media. And celebrities are getting involved in areas that aren't doing their celebrity status very well. Anyhow, it's I'm at arm's length. We're in Ballarat. Our lockdowns are a little different, and business as usual here. Kind of. I can't go anywhere or go far, and we can't get to Melbourne, obviously. So we have cycling to turn to, which is a good thing. A good thing. Speaking of turning, alrighty. Smart trainer or regular one with power pedals, they're 2 different things. It's like saying, do you want to go to the beach or do you want to go to the snow? 2 different things. Depends what you need for your training. It really does. A power meter, a lot of people will say, do I buy a power meter or a smart trainer? A power meter doesn't change your experience. It just measures it, that's it. It doesn't change anything at all. You can monitor your experience and change it based on that. It doesn't push back when the hills hit, it doesn't lift off when the hills go down. It doesn't give you force feedback, it doesn't tilt you up and down, doesn't do any of those. So, 2 very different things. A very common question though, should I get a smart trainer or a power meter? Both. Both is the answer. I stream on Twitch sometimes. More so for the superior stream quality. If you're on YouTube, stay there, because that's where the monetization is. It allows me to keep doing what I'm doing. If you want to just pop over to Twitch though, and have a look at how much better they do the stream quality. Phenomenal. Wow. Any other questions I've missed? I don't think so. We'll do a spin down, and we'll get about getting stuck into this erg. I've got work to do. This is work to do. I could delay this like I do normally for like the next half hour and just chat on the comments, which is why I'm here. You guys keeping me company. Okay. Spin down. We'll use the Zwift spin down. Let's do it. See if the okay. That's all where we need it. Boom. Last spin down. Yesterday. I don't even know what day it is. It's a long weekend here. I think it's been a long weekend since March. I've got to hit next, don't I? Okay. Stop. No, 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 no. Gets a bit jumpy. Live stream and technical issues. At least it's not this. Oh, now this. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay. Slowly. Think if. Yeah, I didn't even get to 37. That's not a spin down. Jesus. Anyhow, that's a user experience. Nothing special, nothing up my sleeve. I'm going to run with that. I can't be effed sitting around waiting for something to try and do that correctly. There's a spin down experience over Bluetooth. All right. Why doesn't that icon appear? Not sure. If you're pairing over, it'll only appear if you're pairing over Ant Plus FEC or Bluetooth. If you're pairing over the private Ant, I don't believe it'll show. I've got no idea what that spin down was about. I'm rolling with it. That's a standard user experience right there. Oh, numbers are actually looking okay. For now. Bizarre. Usually a spin down. So with the spin down, 37k an hour is usually about the flywheel speed that training companies will ask you to get to. You slowly ramp up to that. They'll say stop spinning, and then the trainer will slowly spin down. The spin down calibration only starts at about 32k an hour or 28 or something. It's a lot lower than that exact point, so it's not that important to hit that. But that was balking out at 32k an hour, and the spin down was taking place almost instantly. That's weird. There we go. Sean Vitten's all over it. Were there any other nits or minor issues with the XKD? No, once it was scaled up, it was fine. It's been a while. I'll have to go back through the data, but once it was scaled up, I think 105 on the unit that I had, it was happy. Okay. The thumbs are back too. I've put the thumbs back. Yeah, that spin down. Don't know. What microphone do I use for my YouTube videos? It is a Samsung Go mic. It's a little tiny thing here. I should put it out of shot to make things nice and cleaner. But oh, sorry, that's for this. That's for the live stream. For my other standard YouTube videos, a Rode Lav mic, a Lav Plus, RODE, company out of Sydney. And I've tried tons of other different types of microphones. Shotgun mic on top of the camera, shooting straight at me. It's too echoey. I've tried the squid mics that require phantom power into some other technical device that had all this background hiss. So I sent that back. I've tried tons of things. The wireless Go mic stuff from Rode, the wireless stuff, so I can just have the little lav mic here and the wireless on the camera. Again, too much hiss. So the lav mic plus into my iPhone is still what I use after 4.5 years. It's just so good. I can put a little bit of filtering over top of it if I'm in a room with echo. It's not the best mic, but it's the best one I've found so far. DeBard, welcome along. It's time to erg. It's time to erg. And then dinner time. The thing I don't like about using the iPhone and the lav mic is I still have to manually sync the audio. Or if not, have the computer do it for me with the merged clip. But I still have a separate WAV file in my pocket and the video that I have to put together. It'd be so much nicer to just have it all recorded on the camera all at once. And I just haven't found a solution that does it. Nothing that I could spend the kind of money that I want. A $70 mic on my iPhone and takes a few seconds versus... I've tried. I've kept throwing money at it, but I've wasted my time entirely. Which is What a lot of people do with tech. Training plan on Zwift for a beginner or intermediate rider? That's a big question. Anything structured. If you have no structure to your training at the moment, just structure. That's it. Grab a plan and run with it. If you want the right answer, you're going to have to get a coach to have a look at your response to training, where you're at, your goals, your time you have available, a proper FTP test to get you in the right zones, if not more than that, with a multi-point threshold test, whatever they call that. Let's go to the desert. So typically just ride. Find something you enjoy. If there's a weekly race or a weekly ride, or there's a group that does intervals, just latch on and see what you like to do. There's no use throwing yourself into something you don't like doing. A lot of coaches or people will say train your weaknesses. Usually their weaknesses because you don't like doing them. No use training to be a sprinter if you're like 60 kilos and 6 foot tall. You ain't going to sprint very well against sprinters. So yeah, do what you like and it becomes easy. It's not a chore. Being a time trialist, I like long, steady intervals that are boring. But it's about being able to do them. That's the enjoyment. 5x5s, love those. V-Everesting, push. Yeah, there's no shortage of advice on how to improve in a general sense. I think it's rest, eat carbs, do intervals. Don't train when you're sick. That's about it. But and either of those you can dive right into. What kind of intervals I think what people are looking for. What should I be eating? When should I be eating? And that goes into books and careers and PhDs and everything. Oh, right. There goes my phone. I'm not sure who just messaged me. I don't have the flexibility to pick that up either without getting off the bike. Crikey, I don't have enough room to pick it up either. That was a creative selfie. Oh! Vaughn wants a call. Should we bring Vaughn in? For sure, Vaughn, yeah. Let's do it. I have my Discord set up. I can bring people in for a chat. Vaughn's just asked if she wants a chat. Yes. Yes, we will. Saves me from doing this erg mode. For at least 5 or 10 minutes. Hang on. Alrighty. We can put the pressure on Vaughn to find out where this new bike video is that we haven't seen yet. Alright, we'll get stuck into this erg very shortly. It's 200 into 250, into some sprints, the overs and unders. I won't be doing the flywheel speed test tonight. There's no need to. It's a power meter test. But if I can get this set up here to bring Veronica in. Now I haven't got decent headphones for this. I've got to use wired headphones because as soon as you use Bluetooth headphones to bring other audio in, the quality goes really weird. It downgrades the quality, so wired's the way to go. I've got to get some, even a black set of headphones. We'll see if we can get Vaughn on the line. Bring her in. I think she's just done a Zwift Academy ride. Let's have a look. This is all good steady state stuff for this power meter too. Okay, Vaughn, can you hear me? Sounds like you're underwater. Oh, you're on your Discord with your... Yeah, I'll try to take the filtering off your end, but we'll see how we go. Give me 1 sec, I'll just bring you in. Get this. There we go. And I hit transition, and here we go. Welcome along, Vaughn.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Chat says... Well, chat's a few milliseconds behind us, so... Everyone as well. Everyone as well. I'll proxy for chat.
Okay. I can't see your chat, sorry.
What, you're not watching the stream? Oh, Vaughn, I thought you were a subscriber. Everyone's saying g'day. Mother Llama. Here we go. So, Vaughn, what workout have you just done then?
put you on the stand. 1 second, I just realised I can't do 2 things at once. There we go.
Yep.
That's better. I just finished Zwift Academy workout number 3.
Yeah.
Sprints.
And
Yeah.
somebody asked earlier on the stream.
Workout 2 is sprints. Workout 2 is sprints. Sorry. I did workout 3 last night.
Right.
I'm doing them out of order. That's why I'm confused between the numbers.
Okay, always challenging. Yeah, are they make-up days or something they have? I'm not doing Zwift Academy, so I'm not across it.
No, you can do them in your own time,
Okay.
at your own pace. Yeah.
Have you done number...
with the sprint session was the erg mode wasn't kicking in and out with the sprint, so it was fine because it wasn't kicking in for the sprint, so you could do your best sprinting, but it meant the off recovery intervals in between meant you lost stars because it wasn't holding the erg.
Could it be it's actually switching out of erg for that inter-level mode?
Yeah, no, it's just not correct, and they know it's a bug and they've got to fix it. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Now, somebody asked why I wasn't on the kicker bike today.
Because I'm on it.
That's the answer that I gave.
It's mine now. Just joke.
All right, and it's going okay? It's working for you, aside from the bugs in the workouts?
Oh, it's a lovely bike. Lovely.
Good. So, have you done workout number 1? People are saying workout 1 was challenging.
Yeah, it was really tough because it was an 8-minute FTP block.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, got to start with the kick.
All right, and number 3, let me see. 3 is horrible. Oh, that's talking it all up for you, Vaughn. That's all good.
No, 3 was okay because I'm good at 2-minute intervals. So they were 2-minute intervals, so I was totally fine for that.
Yep. Somebody just put in chat, hey Google, set alarm for Sunday. Somebody just set a voice chat with...
Love it.
I'm going to have to be careful with that if I cover the smart desk we've got set up here with my Google or Siri commands.
Very true.
We don't want to set those off for anybody else. All good. Now, Vaughn, have you been out for a ride lately on your new bike, which we haven't covered on New Bike Day yet?
No, because I haven't been riding my bike, so I should go outside. But there is a reason for that, because I got sick with one of the daycare bugs that Mitzi brought home. So
we played the daycare lottery, didn't we? So the irony there is we've sent little Maxwell to daycare for the first time the last couple of weeks. But he can no longer attend daycare because he got sick from being at daycare. Yet we still pay for daycare.
We know it was that because he's been nowhere else. Literally lockdown.
It's a vicious circle. We were going to try and call daycare to see if I could go in there for the day and have some sandwiches and fairy bread, given we're still paying, but they won't let me. I'm over the age limit. I'm not qualified.
Yeah, no visitors allowed now.
Barney, I still have the Di2 display for mountain bike. It is just something I haven't covered yet. I did a video the other night on the new... Vaughn, you heard me film it, you saw me film it, you saw me sit down and try and edit that video on the Windows version 4.0.2 eTube app. And I think the conclusion...
Yeah, I think you fell asleep while making it.
Correct, I did. And then while editing it, I was halfway through editing it, and within that video, Barney, I did the firmware update on that little display unit, which I'm yet to install on the bike and cover. The video was so boring. I hit delete and then went and watched the television. I can't. The reason being is because I'll still do the video on that little device. I'm going to have to rethink my strategy on covering a really boring app update that does nothing other than put little graphics on the screen. It happens quite often with content that I work on. It gets trashed. I could do 3 or 4 videos a day. I probably do, one a day? But what gets put out is the useful stuff. What the app should have been. And I think the most value in the video that I'd filmed, and I'm not going to worry about releasing in its current form, is that Shimano should have released a Windows app, a Mac app, and used Assistance Bluetooth, just as they do for the phone app, to connect to Di2 if you have the Bluetooth module. That would have ticked a lot of boxes. That would have been worthy of a new point release. But
Yeah.
on the mobile, it's fine. It's a good refresh for the mobile. But anyhow, so that's what happened with that. But the display will be coming soon. We'll do an install of that. And the hidden buttons on shifters. Yeah. So the D-Fly, I think, might not be configurable. I know the derailleur settings weren't configurable. Anyhow, it wasn't the full baked cake. Wires are reliable. Sometimes. Vaughn, you're on a Di2 bike now. It's all good. Oh, sorry, your Di2 virtual setup. Yeah, but it's now set up the same as your bike. You were having trouble early on the kicker bike because it was set up as Di2. Now you've got one and the same for outdoors and indoors. It's all one for one.
I still have problems with Di2 with changing big ring to small ring. I just mash the buttons and go, has it changed yet?
But it's not the SRAM thing of this. Where it takes
No,
two...
I'm happy.
Oh, sorry, you can't see me.
SRAM.
I was patting my head and circling my stomach. You know that trick that you've got to do to change the front chainring.
Yeah.
I'm having a go at the two-handed thing for the...
I'm very happy I don't have to full hand swipe, try and get
the mechanic.
the big ring.
Yeah.
Like there was one bike that I rode from a shop that we rented from that I literally had to get my other hand off the other side to move it into the big ring while riding. It was that bad. I kid you not, I'm not even dramatizing.
Gummy cables. Gummy cables. Yep. Gummy cables, I think that's what it would be. I think I've just killed your... Oh, no, you're still here.
Yeah. I did have a question for the audience, though.
Fire away.
To come up with some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing a bit of Lama Lab stock take cleanup stuff. And I need a creative way of how to store cranksets. Because when you have a crankset, it takes up a lot of room with the size of the rings and then the arms sticking out of it and stuff like that. So we've got a few that we've been testing over time, and they need a creative way of how to store them, either vertically, sideways, I don't know. We've got space, but not a handy way of how to store them. We do have boxes, so we could put them all back in their boxes and stuff like that.
We have
but even then, if there's a more compact way to do it, it would be cool.
I've got a permanent solution. There's a green box that we have on the other side of the house that gets collected every week. If we store them in there for at least a week, they'll disappear.
Yeah.
That's worthy for some of them. Take the rings off? Oh, don't worry, I've been salvaging the rings. The SIGEYI, the AXO that I'm on right now, has a set of, what have we got, Durace 53s on this one.
Yeah. So up for ideas, post it up on somewhere. Social media. We're everywhere on social media. I'm thinking of just a pin board or a peg board, and then we just put a crank hole in there, so it needs to be 24 mil, because most of them are Shimano based anyway, and we just sit it on the board and hold the left crank next to it or something. That could work. It could be an art piece. Yeah.
We'll call it the sadness of the right-hand side or something. Yeah. We'll give it a name or something. We'll put it in the Ballarat Art Gallery. Yeah.
We'll call it Cranky.
You think my dad jokes are bad, man? That just topped it. Oh, good. Cool, Vaughn. Oh, almost lost you for a sec. All right, I'll leave you go for your cool down.
Yep,
and you've successfully bought me 30 minutes before I got into my erg session.
Ooh, awesome. I'll have a good erg sesh and we'll have dinner after your sesh.
Sounds like a plan. All right, I'll get to it, Vaughn. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you. And we'll see you on a Lama drive soon if we can drive anywhere.
We can.
Jeez, we've saved a lot on fuel lately. We've saved a lot on fuel. We've gone nowhere.
Nowhere.
Oh, good. All right, thanks, Vaughn. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Alrighty, good to see you, Vaughn there. I love bringing people in like that. That works well. That works really well. So yeah, you see where we're matched. That was a horrible joke. Cranky as my art piece? Oh, man. Well, it sums it up. Where is Vaughn riding tonight? In the dining room. That's... Oh, actually, I'm not sure what course she was on, but she was in the dining room. All right, Ergma, let's get this done. Or I won't. We have the spin down done. E for erg. I've got to correct that because I've been too lazy to fix that up. 200, 250, overs and unders, and we ignore that part. Erg, workout. Easy as that. Never done a V Everesting, never done an Everesting. I'm quite happy not to. That's a lot of climbing. That's a lot of climbing. All right. Lama drives in the garage. We could just do a Lama sits. The drives are heaps of fun though. I like the drives. Talking about power Zwift, why did you not matching Strava's average power, but only average weighted power? Is that normal if I messed up my setting? No, that's how they calculate, normalize themselves, either with zeroing or not including zeros. Average power is a bit of an art form. People choose to do it different ways. Zwift or any of those, or your head unit won't modify a power setting at all, unless you've got a left-only crank and it's doubling it or not doubling it. It's what it does around the stops and starts, though. It usually influences that. Kill the Discord. Bump. Was it still on the stream, was it? Oh, I didn't stop the call. I've got to stop the call. Thanks for coming in and telling me that, Vaughn. Vaughn's right here. How often do I zero offset my Asiomas? Lee Parsons, once before the ride and probably once every 10 minutes into the ride. If I'm doing comparative testing. If not, once just as I'm turn the head unit on, make sure the bottles are checked, turn the Varia radar on, zero then. And away I go. I don't see a lot of drift out in the road with the Asiomas. They don't have any auto zero though. No pedals do. Not when you're clipped into them anyway. Vector 3s have some really interesting auto zero features. They will auto zero when nothing's clipped in and the bike is vertical and stable. That's pretty cool. Copy shop auto zero, that's called. Yeah, they are flat out making those things at the moment. It's good to see. Even after 2 years, 2.5 years, it's been a while. We're not seeing anything crop up. We're not seeing pedals fall off or anything like that. I've replaced one bearing after many thousands of Ks. That was an easy task. All right, let's get into this erg. Yeah, the price. The problem is though, if you power meters are, you pretty much get what you pay for. There's some exceptions at the higher end that you don't really get what you pay for there. There's a sweet spot, but you go way too low, you're going to be buying twice, or you're going to be buying headaches. Not too dissimilar to a wheel-on trainer. You save yourself a few $100s with a wheel-on trainer, and to get accurate power, you have to do a spin down after every 10 minutes. Now, if you're doing a race on Zwift or an event, you then have to join the pen at least 15 minutes before, do your 10-minute warm-up, spend a few minutes doing the spin down. But you've saved yourself $200. Not worth it. It's just not worth it. Not for me anyway. If you're really pushing your limits of your budget and that's what you want to do, I get it, but it's the same with power meters. Sometimes you just spend the money once and every single time you ride them you're happy, or try and go the budget option and maybe encounter issues, or maybe not have decent battery. Yep. Alrighty. Let's get into this. 40 minutes delaying. God, that's a record for me. Let's get it done. Once I hit tab on the right screen. Boom. Let's get into it. We'll go on a random tour of Whitesopia tonight, I think, now that I've done the desert just chatting along. Kick a core. Yeah, kick the core goes well. I had a haircut on the Zwift. I might have. I should still have the wild man hairdo on Zwift, because if I can't grow it in real life, goddamn, I'll use it virtually. The SEM is a serviceable. Yes, you can replace the whole bearing kit. Either with the ones they sell, or you can just grab the bearing sizes and replace them yourself. Oh, I don't want to look at the I'm looking down. I've been out testing today too. I'm looking down, looking down, looking down, looking down. I just got to ride my damn bike. Ride the damn bike. Ride the damn bike. They're not serviceable. If something goes wrong, you're out of grand. Look, if you're going to stab a pedal into the ground really, really hard enough to kill a power meter, you've got other things to worry about, such as your carbon frame or your collarbones. And again, at the end of the day, it's not motorsport. It's not yachting. Hands down, the power to max, something like that, just works. And for me, getting home and looking at the numbers and going, oh, that work's done. That's worth a couple $100. No question, no question. Have I ever fallen off a trainer? No. And I've ridden a lot of trainers. Magpies on Zwift. No. Jesus. I'm at one with the magpies now. I can deal with the magpies. They're still scary. They'll be gone soon. But nothing is as frightening as getting swooped by a magpie for the first time and you don't know what the hell's going on. But nothing is as funny as watching someone else getting swooped. It's hilarious. Arms waving everywhere. They're trying to reason with the bird. Those birds don't reason. They kill. Oh, sorry. UCI Fondo query. No. I think my days of being anywhere near the pointy end of a race are long gone. My motivation definitely is, I'll tell you that. But I'm enjoying bikes. That's what it's about. I've been there. And Sean, you know very well what it takes to be anywhere near the front. And everything that involves. Spent many, many years delaying other parts of my life. Obsessing with bikes and getting faster and things. So, if I was to do it, I'd enter it. But just cruise. Like, there was at a point where if I knew I wasn't on form and up the front, I wouldn't bother. There's a few races I'd never done either because of that certain time of year. Yeah, I changed the focus. I just enjoy it. I tell you what though, if racing starts back up again and I can go out there and test power meters, even if I'm way off the back, I'm never going to be able to repeat the efforts required myself that you can do in a bunch or in a race. So it's good testing. Let's go downtown. We'll go past all the new Zwift newbies. Any issues performing a static weight test with only one end of the bike race with the crank at 3 o'clock? No, it shouldn't be. The crank doesn't know your bike orientation, depending on the power meter, I guess. The crank, the pedal. If you're a member of the Gplama YouTube channel at either Team Lama or Lama Pro, you'll see a full little behind the scenes video I released yesterday for the AXO calibration process. I did a shot on Instagram with it. I got enough interest and I thought, oh, just grab the camera and I'll talk people through the process that I do to verify these pedals. So if you remember, there's an incentive, a little bit of behind the scenes. And you get updates every now and then of things that are coming up on the channel. Nothing to take away though from the main content though that I put out, which will always be there for subscribers. You'll always get products like when embargo lifts, it goes to the main channel, and other updates and things. Mountain bike conversion holding up well, and Grubby, stay tuned. They should be going on a very sweet bike build soon. Fingers crossed. And this one may not have gear cables. Shock horror. How does it perform? I won't give too much away. Actually, I did in members yesterday. There we go. There's a hook. My member update. Had a little bit of insight on what's coming up with that. But I don't like giving too much away unless I've got it in my hands. I don't have trust issues. No. We'll see. It should be fun. Should be fun. I've got to get back to more Zwift tips though. A lot of people coming on board for Zwift for the winter season that's kicking in. Better shifting. Damn it, you weren't meant to hear that. Actually, I think I've already told you, haven't I? Okay, coming up here on our left is Zwift newbies. The spawn point for new Zwifters. 2 there right now. And they've just clicked on and gone, what the hell is a spin down? What's Bluetooth Plus? What's Ant? Low energy. What the hell? Hopefully the process is smooth enough for them they can just get on their bikes, click the buttons and ride and go through it. But there's all the newbies back there. $20,000 online Zwift yesterday afternoon. There we go. See, I've got to go where the people are. And that's where the people are. Update. 8 minutes into this interval on the AXO versus the everything else I've got on the bike. And I can tell you it's consistent with what I was seeing outdoors earlier today. Volcano. What power meter would I recommend for Shimano 105? You just bang on a left crank arm, compatible Shimano crank arm, be it 105, Ultegra, Durace if you want to get special. It's compatible with that chain set. Stay with the left only. Yeah, any brand. I've got a soft spot for InPeak because I spend a lot of time on that in power meter for them to get that right. But things like the Stages left, Four Eyes left. You've got other options such as XKD, Ridge from Regine. Tempo power meters. There's tons to choose from for left only Shimanos. Hey, Diesel Dan. It popped up and went. So it depends what you're after. Thoughts on the Giro? Oh man, I haven't caught. I caught the stage 1 finish. That's all. Freemy out the back. That's a bit disappointing. You've got to wonder though. Us as fans, we're like, oh, he's out of form. It could be calculated. Those guys know if they're on form or not. They know what numbers they're pushing. They know the fitness they've got. Is it a tactical move now he becomes a team worker? I mean, he's not riding for the team next year anyway. Could this be the start of his off-season already? Who knows? It's entertainment though. And thankfully we have some. Left only is a good starting point, absolutely. DeBard's in a meeting. Send our regards to the meeting. Had 2 conference calls before 8 AM the other day. That's the joys of living in the other side of the world. Tomorrow morning is only 4 AM. Just the one. What's coming up behind me? Is that the hump day? No, it can't be a hump day ride. They're on, what's going on here? There's some kind of training ride happening. I'm being stalked. They have no idea who I am. Excellent, I like that. Pop quiz, what power meter was Dowsett running at the Worlds? Only correct answers. It was a power meter he ran, Strava estimated. It was a power meter he ran for a number of years at Movistar. Well, they had them on their bikes anyway. Wasn't his current sponsor. Sean Vinton is feverishly Googling. You'll spot it, Sean, I'm sure. If you can find a high enough res image. It's a bit touch and go. There we go. Neil for the win. Unbranded Powder Max. With a massive chainring on the front. Pro cyclists, they break too easily like bones, heard some web. Pro cyclists break bones, yeah. Collarbones are the first to go. There's not a lot of padding around. I've always raced with an undertop on, most of the time. It'll stop the gravel rush if you go sliding. It can save your bacon in your back and your front. Yeah, Dowsett's bike for the Worlds. The dude knows speed, it's good. He's a nice guy too. Good with social. Met him over at the TDU a few years back. Approachable, which is what these cyclists have to be. I'm working for this, jeez. Six minutes to go, what's going on? No race leagues, no. I got too much other stuff going on. Kieran has the Asiomas. Brilliant. It's just one of those products that people are happy with. So it's easy to do content on them. They're not a massive brand. They're not crazy with marketing. The numbers do the talking from the pedals. Yeah, it just works. That's all we ask of most equipment. Most equipment, but I think it's still absurd that we've got to self-certify, or they self-certify, and then we have to still verify. That's crazy. So for Vero, yeah, as Tobin points out there, they are from a history of electronic sporting signboards and things. Fencing sensors. The Asiomas aren't their first rodeo. They had the B Pros. They have B Pro 2. So they've been down the path before. Oh, okay, so Sunweb's clothing is resistant to gravel rash. It's probably a multi-layered such as like wearing an undertop. I'm guessing that's what they've got. Security settings on the router could connect to Zwift, but could not see other riders. Not sure on that one. The biggest issue people usually have with Zwift and trying to lock down their access point at home is when they do that, they do port isolation or client isolation, where your companion app tries to connect on the local network to your main Zwift machine. Which way will we go? We'll go this way. I need the flats for a sprint. But logging in and seeing nobody else. UDP locked. It's been a while. Undo what you did and see if that fixes it. And then redo a little bit of what you did. What did Dennis get pipped by on the TT the other day? Wouldn't have been much. I think we have to be honest, Dennis is probably lucky to find a good team after his exit last year. I understand the personal issues and things he was going through, but in a sport where it's not always how you perform on the bike, it's how you perform off the bike, can heavily influence the team you're on. He did well to find a home, and if that's there in a workhorse role, I think he better ride it out. Get his head down. Multi-layer, not multi-layer, just a single cloth. Okay, I'll have a look into it. Sunweb clothing. Kevlar netting. Look, you can do skin protection, but blunt force trauma ain't gonna stop that on a bike. Imagine pushing a shopping cart with 70 kilograms of meat in a shopping cart. Get that up to 50 or 60 kilometers an hour and then put it on the ground. It's not going to be pretty. And that's a cyclist. FTP, no idea. No idea what my FTP is, to be honest. And that's an honest answer. I haven't done a test for a long time. AXO power meter, consistent with outside. Which means my 43rd data set will be combed over pretty closely. Diesel Dan, is it diesel or cocoa? One or the other. All right, we have to rip out a pathetic sprint. Whatever clothes you're wearing, it's not going to stop a broken collarbone or a wrist or a shoulder. Interesting to see though, I'll look into it. I've done 4 collarbones. They keep breaking after a while. Small peak power test. See how things pan out. 4 minutes off. was that? 1100? It wasn't much. I haven't got maximums. Oh, actually, I can. Let's have a look at what. 1174 on the AXO. RCM's 1260. Yep. That's what I expected. So 1200 on the trainer too. Cool. Yeah. That's as I expected. It's a little lower. I'm going to get back to them tonight, asking if they've got a scale factor. XKD had a scaling factor. With the tracking that I'm seeing with this, a simple scaling will actually fix it. It's over 12. Oh. 8 p.m. second ride today, and I got over 1200. That's kind of happy days. Lucky I didn't have dinner before this. Would have been back up on the live stream. Epic Com. Let's go there. End up in the other section here as we do our overs and unders. These are fun. 20 seconds is long enough for you not to really feel the effort until it's finished. You'll see the heart rate lag on the bottom of the screen, especially with the 450s. Coming up soon. Mrs. Lama has already ridden tonight. She was on doing one of the Zwift Academy rides. Oof. Oh, how good are recovery intervals? Jesus. Jetblack trainers, no. I've reached out though. They said there was going to be a vault put aside to get through the Lama Lab. But I can understand, and people would appreciate this. The companies are they're selling trainers like hotcakes at the moment, so that companies don't need reviews of trainers, especially if a review is going to be critical of anything at all. There's no point. They're just flying off the shelves. But I know the guys at Jetblack. So hopefully they'll let me borrow one at least. I'll see if I can get a media unit or something. I can usually get away with that now. I still don't see myself as a media person. I'm still a cyclist looking for the best power meter, the best trainer. You know, what's the best experience that I can have on the bike? What's the next firmware update going to do for me? Elite versus Jetblack. Elite for the moment because I haven't got my hands on the new Jetblack stuff. We haven't seen much about the Vault. So I wouldn't go anything untested. I really wouldn't lay any money down at all on anything untested. I think a lot of people know that too. And wait for... I'm not against buying version 1s of things, but there's always a risk for that. Oh, that's sim mode just before I hit the... Watch this, I'm going to break out a sim into erg. 150 erg, thank you. Right. Kind of screwed up my lead into that, but here's what they're all about. Overs and unders. So this is exactly the data sets that I go through on any power meter review or video that I do. This is the overs and unders that you'll see. So small ring on the front, middle of the cassette at the back. Trying to be smooth as possible. Not bad, not bad. Same again. Make sure the first one wasn't a fluke. FTP test video. Nah. My performing days are gone. Though it's funny, the best views that I get was when I suffer like a dog on a bike and can't talk. I thought my value was in me talking. Obviously not. I have no interest in doing it because it's lower than what it was in the past. So it's only going to be disappointing to me. And most of my content is things that I find interesting. I'm lucky that a lot of other people find it interesting too. But there's a limit. I can still talk it for 60, just a little bit. All right, one more. Check firmware, Joe. Load up the Wahoo app, connect to the heart rate sensor, make sure it's the latest firmware. Once more. Upcoming routes. No courses or routes that I know of. Whew. All right. Dishes are done. Alrighty, we'll tab out. 12:29, not bad. So typically, I start the effort here, but here's where I like to talk to everyone in livestream and have a chat to Vaughn on Discord, and then I start the work, which means this little bit here is a little harder than just stepping into it after a decent warm-up just there. Just the heart rate's right down. Heart rate lag, you see that right there, dropping off. It takes a while to come down. That's where we are. Heart rate distribution, flipping the bird doubly, the back there. All right, desert flats, let's make it easy. Let's make it easy. Fire away, chat. If I've missed your question, I do apologize. I'm sort of busy doing the erg thing, making sure I'm trying to be 50-50. Even though it doesn't really matter whether two power meters, 3 power meters that do total power. But if you have any questions that I missed, fire away. Any questions on content that I've done or have mentioned or you would like me to do, any products, any power meters, trainers, you name it. Open for suggestion. My idea sheet is long. My priority sheet is empty though. It's really whatever pops up to the top. You never know when Strava's going to pull the next feature that we have to talk about. Flybys does exist, except they took it away when they disabled it, but you can add it back. My flybys are gone. Useless. Ballarat here. My walk around the lake the other day pushing my son. Hundreds and hundreds of runners. Good handful of cyclists I've passed. 0 on flybys. Even today, I rode past a couple of guys, gave them a wave. I can't go back and check flybys and say g'day. I get it, I understand it, I understand the security behind it. It just sucks. I was using it for like what I thought was okay purposes. Mine's just open. And the hot tip is never start or stop an activity at your front door. Assume your data is going to be public and then work backwards from there. I did like the feature though. And there's a number of routes that I found because I was out riding around Creswick on my Strava. You'll see a Creswick loop today. There's a few little offshoots of that, shortcuts. And I'd see other riders on the flybys and you could see their entire route or route, whichever way you want to say it. And you can't get that now. Heat maps, kind of. Di2 battery options. There's only one. Shove it up your seat post. Done. There's one. I guess there's external batteries now too. Bettershifting.com has over on their Instagram there was the external battery with it was the cylinder external battery. It's an interesting setup. But for me, all I know about Di2 batteries, the BT, the 110 has the additional memory for synchro shifting and the Bluetooth module. All the bikes that I have here have the internal batteries in the seat, shoved up the seat post. I didn't get into Di2 early enough for the externally mounted ones they used to put on the under the down tube and things. There we go, bettershifting.com in the house. but it's big. Oh, it takes that battery. Okay, so is that a mount? Does that mount act as the junction A? Di2 is just Lego Technic for bike nerds. Actually, it's even easier than Lego Technic. That's why I like it. You just get to tinker. Aha, there we go. Smart mount for the external battery. Right. Any possible testing on the Machine T300? If my arms were longer, I would drag it into the shot. It's sitting here in the Lama Lab. The T100 and the T300. Yes. And their crank power meter too. If you're a member of the channel, you would have got that all in yesterday's update. If you're Team Lama or Lama Pro, if you're a channel member, you get a little sort of newslettery update every now and then. And yes, those were mentioned. So coming soon. Availability is the next thing though for the Machine equipment. I'm not sure they can sell in the US. Not sure about Europe availability either. But just out of, what's out there, is it interesting? Have they nailed it? The Machine, was it the Gravat? Or Gravat 2 I think I had? I think that nailed it for power, though it was exploitable with its external strain gauge, which was a bit of fun. But that was an original kicker. That really was like a kicker. So this is the next generation stuff. We shall see. We'll see how it goes. Favorite wording in Zwift except for Watopia? Watopia's got everything. That's what I do all my testing. I'm like, the trainer warm-up is Titan's Grove because it does this and has a 2-minute climb and it has a little rest section. Not Richmond, even though I had some really good races on Richmond way back. Not London. I can never figure out where I am in London. Not New York. Innsbruck's good for climbing. I don't know. Yorkshire, no. Question. I like quark power meters, yes. Yeah, single point measurement power meters such as quark, power to max, SRM, spider base power meters. You're not going to get true left right. You'll get a good estimate, but if it's within a few percent, it's probably the best you're going to get. The usefulness of left right data is very limited. That is correct. For me, the usefulness of left right data is really useful if I'm comparing a left only crank to a left only pedal, and then comparing that to, say, total power. Again, it doesn't really matter. If I can compare left to left, that's all we need to do. It's nice doing those rides, though, with 50-50 as much as I can, and just seeing if 2 times the power works. France is a nice map, but it needs to have some more back links, so you can go, just loop back or do some gravel rides or something. That would be good. The Machine crank is not a Shimano crank, no. It's their own crank and one-piece spider and chain rings, all one piece. So the big ring, small ring and spider is all one piece. $299 US. 24mm spindle should go on any Shimano bottom bracket. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's a few weeks off here, though. I've got a stack of stuff to get through. I've got a lot of stages of power meters you can leave. Well, you can leave them to dry like underwear. So do you have stages of cranks in your underwear drawer? Yeah, there's small gravel paths all over France. Bring that on. Any Black Friday tips? We don't do Black Friday here, really, for retail or anything. 2020 screwed up anyway. Melbourne retail is shut, so no, I don't do a lot of deals or buy this or that or anything like that. I'll do a few Amazon links and some products that I'll cover. That's about it. I don't keep across prices of a lot of things. I'll report the price on products so people know what I'm covering in the ballpark of where things are, but not across any Black Friday deals. I don't expect any deals on trainers. You never know. But trainer companies would be crazy to discount anything that are selling so well at the moment. Chain rumble noise on SRAM force axis. Force axis or axis in general is a little louder. Anyway, I've found. Stick around. In a couple of weeks, we might find out exactly how loud that is. BetterShifting.com, absolutely. Previously known as Di2 Center, I think, which was a great name. Probably a little bit too close to the edge of lawyer land, though, having Di2 in the name there. BetterShifting.com, everything Di2 in text format. I'll cover things in video. They'll also link back to a few of my videos, which is nice. But yeah, BetterShifting.com is where I'd also go if you're looking at upgrading to Di2 or tinkering or wanting to brick your firmware and fix that. Sometimes it's easier to see something printed on a website rather than a video where you have to stop and start and work out what the crazy Aussie is talking about. Black Friday tips, DC Dynamica, there you go. Raise across most of the US market and Europe too. We're not going to tell Shimano legal, but it's probably best to change the domain name. Change it or sell it to them, come on. Nothing like a bit of a domain squat. Do I buy everything myself or get loaners or free stuff? I hope you get Zwift free. Most of my subscriptions I pay for. The equipment is a combination of either buying it or having a media unit or a preview unit or a loaner. If it's good enough. If something is as simple as the Asiomas, bank done. No questions, money's down. Power to max. They sent the unit to me with a change in distributor here in Australia. And they just said, look, here's the unit. And it was brilliant. And this is how it was hats off to them, full respect. Here's the unit. Test it, do whatever you want with it, make your video, whatever. If you want to send it back once you're finished, that's fine. If not, give us a call, give us your credit card details. It's all yours. No pressure, nothing. They got my credit card details. That meter's staying on the bike. Just works. So it's a combination of all the above. If I can hold the product, if it's a loaner or a media unit, if I can hold the product for as long as the lifespan of the product, I'd be happy. Kick a bike, for example. That's from Wahoo. As they're still developing firmwares for that. And still, hello, Rip Ride. Who did I join? Who did I join? As I can still make content around that, that's still Wahoo's bike, so it'll go back once that lifespan is over. Or I kill it. Haven't killed it yet. Here we go. Now we can drop some ride-ons. Coco. God damn it. Here's the Zwift effect. Just about to finish up. When a big bunchy comes through. We can really start getting the ride-ons happening. Reviewer buying the product after the review is a great recommendation. I'll rarely tell people to buy this or that. I'm still searching for the best power meter trainer. Now all the rest. Whatever you buy is entirely up to you. People ask, oh, what do I recommend? The easiest thing is to look what I continually have on the bike or what I continue to ride. Because if it's not good, it goes off the bike pretty quick. Thunderstorm. Gift the kicker button. No, we don't need like power. I don't need more power meters, though. I do need that power to max, so it's mine. I need more good sources of accurate power, so that's why that one. The Stages bike's the same. That's next to me. I don't have enough room for that stuff. which is handy. I don't have to talk things up as being happy to receive, whilst it's fantastic for what I do and the content I can produce. That's the main thing. I need access to product. So I do appreciate companies getting me involved in that. But you've got to convince me it's a good product too. For some reason, people keep emailing me about robotic vacuum cleaners. And same with Di2. Look at that. I went and purchased a second-hand group set for Di2. I needed it on my other bike, so it's really handy that I can do content on that. It's a win for that. But I also get Di2 on the bike, which I was going to buy anyway. Did I mention I like Di2? I don't think there'll be any Black Friday deals on trainers. If there are, that's great, but I don't think there'll be much. Coco, I'm out of the pace partner. Okay, I'm not even concentrating. I knew this would be impossible on a live stream to stay within the multiplier. I'll drop off here. I've got to get going for dinner. It's 8:30. We'll get to 42 Ks. Alrighty. Yeah, the Magene 325 CS looks interesting. Tobin, I agree. But if it's an accurate... So, Magene did the Ridge, left only. I believe that was a good reviewed unit. Nothing stands out for me from memory, other than it just working. If a power meter just works like that, great. Works. They've redesigned the right-hand side. For good reason. It's symmetrical. It does look like the SRAM 8-bolt. But it's their own spider and everything. So I'll look into that for sure. We'll get that on the bike. The front changing is going to be a challenge. Tell you what I do love. Durace rings or Shimano rings change just so well up front. So for Magene to produce their own rings, hopefully the ramps and everything are all pretty good. We shall see. I've got to go to 43, don't I? Come on. Did I at least give out a few? 32, 33 ride-ons, 34. There we go. Good, good. Work the ratio back a little bit. Alrighty, wrapping this one up. Thanks everyone for coming along. That was the Asiomas Dorito XR and the AXO 43 data sets. As you can imagine, it's been a bit of a grind trying to get this thing to line up. And the worst part, as I was saying early on, when a power meter doesn't work, it's easy. It just doesn't work. When a power meter works perfectly, fine. Everything lines up. Everything you put it against, it's happy. When it's close but not, but I've got to do the soul searching for everything that I test, and that's chains. A new bottom bracket installed on this bike just to make sure there's nothing wrong with the bottom bracket. What else? Static testing of the pedals. You name it, everything. Anything that could affect the numbers. But there is some consistency coming out of this thing. Just needs to be scaled up a bit. We'll see. We'll have the numbers later on. Alright. Geez, that pace partner really cranks up the Ks, doesn't it? And they're big rides. Those pace partners are huge rides. Very surprising. Something so simple, such as, well, however they got those running on just 1 watts per kilo, and people jump in for the group ride. All right, everyone, thanks for coming along again. That's been fun. Session number 2 for the day. Lots coming up, and again, thank you to the subscribers of the channel. Keeps the numbers ticking along, and the members of the channel too, who got a sneak peek on what's coming up yesterday and a little newsletter. So if you want to be a member of the channel, Team Lama or Lama Pro is what you want to be. All right, everyone, have a good day. We'll be back very soon with more, either on live stream or in video. Take care, and we'll see you soon.